Your money is fake. I can prove it to you. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you how it's fake, how they fooled you. They pulled one over on you, had you chasing these little pieces of paper, and I'm going to show you what is real. I'm not going to just present a problem and not tell you a solution. That's what I do. Okay, so here is the whiteboard. And what I have is all the worldview distractions that they push you into on a daily basis. Oh, not to mention, I did not even put this in your normal school system and your college system. But we will go over some of these things. I don't want to focus too much on that because that's actually your distraction. That's what you're supposed to minimize. Here is what we're going to want to focus on. So what we'll do in a few minutes, we will expand this once we go over some of these distractions. So basically your distractions are chasing little pieces of paper. That's getting a job, working, 50, 60, 70 hours a week, trying to make your paycheck to make your monthly bills, okay? So they also have you chasing social media, thumbs ups, hearts, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, which does not even touch the surface of what there is out there for social media. I don't even know the Snapchats and who knows what else is out there. Basic phone notifications, that goes on and on. And there's an endless loop there. There's an endless loop here. And I'm not even gonna read these all out. I just don't have the patience to read these all out. But you're welcome to pause the video, read through them, find out what is sucking your soul energy to basically avoid the truth. Which, if you were to watch the Matrix, you would see Morpheus teaching Neo how to find his truth. And honestly, the truth is different for everybody. So if it is chasing paper for you, then that may be the truth for you. But the truth begins with here, this is why I drew this, is I drew a little, basically a headstone, tombstone, with a little cross on there, because some people may, turn to the Bible when they realize that this is all false matrix. And then in my situation, it's kind of like a Neville Goddard in a way of like living in the end, meaning every day you consider that could be your last day. You consider that they could be closing the casket on you. And where is your mind frame at that moment? It shouldn't be chasing all this because, like I said again, that's an endless loop of nothingness. And what we'll do is we'll expand the truth, knowledge, and I'll get involved with some teachings, basic teachings of Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that he basically teaches you how to create your own economy that works for you, and basically your economy won't be dependent on the system. So basically, Robert Kiyosaki teaches how to create your own economy that's not dependent on the economy outside. Pretty cool stuff. Let me just clean the whiteboard. It's not only Robert Kiyosaki I've learned this from. So Bob Proctor has a bunch of material out there covering this stuff. I'm sure handful more guys out there that actually teach this on a regular. But me, I learned little pieces of it over the last 2 or 3 years. I'll be honest, I'm not big on reading books personally, but I am pretty aggressive when it comes to watching podcasts and YouTube videos of other people teaching knowledge. Nero Knowledge is a really good YouTuber that I follow. He's got a ton of stuff out there about manifestation, which I'll probably get into a little bit more in the future. But this one, I do want to get a little more involved with the money system, because you could make it easier on yourself rather than chasing a paycheck. So yeah, from Robert Kiyosaki, basically he's growing up. He has 2 dads he looks up to, 2 father figures that he looks up to as he's growing up. And one of them is go get a job, make a paycheck. The other one is build a business, do not get a paycheck, you know. Build a business and basically, basically, the way you're going to want to do that is you're going to want to start with savings. That's going to be 6 to 12 months covered expenses. So you need to know your monthly bills going out every month. You put together a budget, you could stick to it, you put together this, and you put this on lockdown. You put this on lockdown. This is for emergency. We will, you know what, we're gonna put emergency on here. Okay, then you'll have another account. Oh, in that account, you are actually gonna want, it's up to you if you're risky, you can go with the stock market as far as a IRA or a high yield saving is probably what I would recommend. High yield savings, you get about 4 or 5%. If you put it in a regular savings, you probably get 0.01. So go for the 4 to 5% returns on that money. That fights a little bit of inflation. I know inflation's right now is probably 11 or 12, but at least you cover yourself a little bit there. Okay, then you could have a second account. This would be another savings. Where you'll keep basically in excess of that 6 to 12 months. Let's just say this is 9 months. 9 is the number of completion. Let's just say we'll go right in between that 6 to 12. So that's 9 months. So let's say you keep 3 months here. In your savings account, now this one you can get a little more aggressive. You can play the stock market with this money, or you could business risk. Put a little money in, see if you get a return. You have to test the market, see what's available, see what's actually calls out to you. Different things are gonna turn different returns for different people. Okay, then you're gonna have a business account. That's gonna be savings. and you're going to just try to level that up. You're going to have a business checking. Where you'll have money coming in and out as your business progresses. Then you'll have your personal stuff. Same thing. You're leveling that up. And you got a checking. And that you got money coming in and out every month. So basically, then you start getting to the cash flow. And that's what Robert Kiyosaki stresses. More importantly than chasing money is leveling up cash flow. So cash flow is king. I know. They had you growing up thinking cash is king. So let's do this. Let's box that in. Cash flow is king. Now this is the old way. Say cash is king. Is what they want you thinking. Cash is king, which in a sense it is. You're able to get better deals if you're paying with cash for most things. But let's just say cash flow is king. Cash is getting a little choppy as far as like the value. Nobody knows which way it's gonna go. But honestly, push come to shove, it's always gonna be there. I mean, this is probably an age-old problem that has gone and come, and they had thought, oh, the cash is losing value. But I mean, it's something. It's probably just gonna have to stay. I don't see it going away. They're gonna try to go to the digital. I'm not so sure. And so basically, that's the solution you're gonna be looking for. Put together the 6 to 12 months. Once you got that, then you can start playing a little risk. And okay, so once you got this system built, my system is actually 7 bank accounts. Let's see what we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 works, and then I think I got a high yield at a different bank just to have it. Just to have an extra account. It's an account I don't use very much, but it's there in case something were to come up. I just wanted to stash some money away. Okay, so you got this system built. Okay, so then what you'll want to do, once you built this system, you are actually, I'll do it on the next board. You are actually, see the goal here, and this is what Robert Kiyosaki would advocate for, Bob Proctor would advocate for, is getting off of the W-2 system. So, let me just wipe the board here. Once I get that down, we can talk about the tax man that is ripping off the average person in massive quantities. Let's see. When I try to tell people I know about this, they get upset, but yet they do nothing about it, which is fine. Sometimes they get upset at me, and I'll tell you, and I'll be the first to tell you, it's not my fault. I didn't build the system. that takes 50% of your income, and then here, you know what they do? I mean, they print the money, they tax you the money, and they still don't got enough money. It don't make no sense. So what you want to do, you need to know where value is. If you can spot value, this is how you beat the system. If you can spot value. So you have to go back to basically historic times of when two people wanted to do trade with each other. So you might have a man that he raises cattle, right? And this guy is a carpenter. Okay? So the cattle guy, he's like, oh man, I need a home built or something to hold my cattle. He makes trade with, I'll give you one cattle or a couple cuts of beef for you doing this labor, in which case that is the birth of money. This is where money was created. Switching value. So it could be this guy provides water. This guy, whatever it is, they're exchanging value. So the dollar actually comes out to be an exchange of value. The actual dollar is an exchange of value. So it doesn't matter what you call it. You can call it a Bitcoin. You can call it checks. We don't really do much for checks anymore. It could be stocks, bonds, and it could be cold hard cash. Anyway, it's a storage of value. That is how it all began, basically. So if you can spot the value, this is the key. Spotting the value. So, basically, the average businessman, in order to success in business, you have to be able to recognize value. You need to be able to solve problems you can solve them for yourself, but you can't really pay yourself. So you're gonna have to solve problems for other people. So you go to business events, functions, you could see it in your workday, your regular workday. You could see a hole in the system where this guy, he's spending too much time doing this. You could provide this service for less than he's paying for it now. So basically, this is the key. Solving problems for other people. This is where you create value, and this is where you'll get paid. Again, you can sell, yeah. So the beginning of the dollar, and then create value. If you can spot the value, that's where you get paid. Let me move on to the tax man. So, one of the most valuable things I found is to alleviate from the first slide, basically to help people drop those distractions. Not necessarily drop them, but minimize the distractions so that they could find their own value, find their place where other people value them. And that is how the main thing these guys would tell you, and I will stress it myself too, the main focus is cash flow and value. And that's how you're going to get ahead. You're not going to get ahead chasing the dollar.